Alright, what's going on everyone out there on YouTube? NES Ruler, and welcome to a brand new DVD and Blu-ray update. I have a bunch of stuff to show you guys that I picked up pretty recently, stuff I've gotten sent in to review and things like that. So I figured we'd come and do a update. So let's get into it. First up we have King Cobra. This is the February's new IFC Midnight. So I had to grab this. Did a trade with my good friend Derek for this. So this is the newest IFC Midnight to come out. It's of course insanely stupid expensive for an IFC movie. You know, these are like 20 bucks and it's a pain in the ass if you've been collecting DVDs and they've been so cheap. And now Scream Factory and Shout Factory hooked up with IFC and now they're expensive as shit. So, but that's King Cobra. Put that back on the shelf. So I picked this up. This is the Midnight Movies 2 collection. I mainly picked this up because I've been listening to a bunch of Joe Bob Briggs commentaries. If you guys haven't listened to Joe Bob Briggs commentaries on these Media Blaster releases, I highly recommend you check them out. He is super, super funny. And he makes these films extremely enjoyable. I've never been a commentary guy. I haven't really listened to that many commentaries. It's not really my thing, but I really wanted to start listening to some, and JP recommended I listen to Joe Bob Briggs commentary, and I Spit on Your Grave, and I listened to that, and I had a really, really good time, so I picked this up. I started listening to some more of these commentaries, and in this set we have 2 of the 4 films in here have commentaries. And it was just cheaper to get this set, so this is like $10 or something. So, this says Blood Shack, so that has a commentary on there. Body Fever. Hollywood Strangler meets the Skid Row Slasher, that has a commentary on there. That film's supposed to be really bad. And finally, we have the Las Vegas Serial Killer. So, you know, pretty crappy films, but, you know, you got Joe Bob on there, and he makes them entertaining. So, have to have that movie. Midnight Movies 2 collection. Yeah, this finally came across a copy of this. I got this for 14 bucks shipped off eBay. And that's the Prom Night collection. This is the Canadian release, and this is the only way to get the Prom Night 3 and 4 uncut. The US versions of those films are the TV cut, and this is the only way to get them uncut. And this was hard to find for a while, but for some reason a few have popped up lately, and this one was pretty cheap on eBay. And really bad packaging. I hate these kind of packaging. The Back to the Future Blu-ray set has this packaging, and the Child's Play set, some other stuff. It's just bad. Some of my discs came loose when it was getting shipped, and they came a little bit scratched, but I'm not really going to complain because these are not the easiest things to get anymore. So, of course, they got the Lee French on that cover, but very happy to have this finally, and for the price I paid, just a pretty good score. So that is the Prom Night collection. We got Warlock Moon. This is another Joe Bob commentary. Like I said, I've been picking these up a lot. This one's really, really funny. The movie's not that bad, actually. This is the cut version, but I know there's an uncut version out there. But, of course, I wanted the edition with the Joe Bob commentary on there. So, Warlock Moon. Next up, we have You Are Not Alone. This is an underrated gem right here. By the cover, it would look crappy. This is a really, really good slasher film. It's shot completely in first person, and it's really, really damn good. And I highly recommend you guys seek this one out if you come across it. If you guys have family videos around, you can pick it up there. That's where I got my copy. This movie is really, really solid. I highly, highly recommend you give this one a chance. Don't go by the cover, because the movie is actually really, really solid and really, really good. So I highly recommend you pick this one up. Like I said, it's just a slasher. It takes place in a small town on 4th of July, and this guy's running around crazy. Pretty generic story, but it's really, really well done. I recommend you pick that one up. It's quite good. 6 Plots. Just picked this one up not too long ago. Seemed like a cool premise, but I've heard the movie's not that good, but I figured I'd give it a shot based on the the synopsis. Seems pretty cool. That's a Lionsgate film. We have The Ones Below. This one's released by Magnet. Another one that I've heard really, really great things about. I heard this one's really, really solid, so happy to pick that up as well. Got this one at Family Video as well, so that's pretty cool. The Ones Below. Next up we have Boris Karloff in Targets. This is a film I've been wanting to check out. I never had around to pick it up, and JP told me I needed to grab it and give it a watch. It has a really, really cool story. Basically follow Boris Karloff's character. He plays a retired horror star, and he is about to retire, and one day he gets this job at this drive-in where they're showing, of course, one of his movies, and there is a guy who goes crazy, and he gets a sniper rifle, and he starts picking people off, first on a highway, and then he goes to the drive-in and he starts killing people. And it's interesting. I didn't love it as much as I think JP did, but definitely a really interesting premise. And I would like to see this one be remade today. I think it could be quite interesting. It's kind of like Phone Booth, in my opinion, a little bit like Phone Booth. Targets, which I haven't watched Phone Booth since that movie came out. It's been a long while since I've seen that movie. But Targets. Next up we have the Hell's Angel 69. Of course, Mr. Joe Bob Briggs commentary. This is one of the harder ones to get. It's pretty hard and out of print. Luckily, when I started buying these, there was an auction on eBay. I got this one for like $10, which is a pretty good score on this one. So, pretty happy. It has the insert and the disc. So, couldn't go wrong with that for $10. So, the Hell's Angels 69 with Mr. Joe Bob on there. Next up we have Return of Kung Fu, Trailers of Fury. I did a review of this one on the channel. If you guys want to go listen to my thoughts on this one. But overall it's the same thing as the first compilation, but it's not as good as the first one special feature wise. But if you're into that kind of thing, you'll probably dig this one. Go listen to my review on this if you want to hear more. Same thing with this, Drive-In Massacre. If you want to hear my thoughts on this one, head over to the channel. Did a review on this film as well. Interesting film from 1976. Kind of a pre-slasher. The Mind's Eye. This is released by Image. Grabbed this one at Family Video. I've heard this one's pretty good. It's from the director of Almost Human. A lot of people have talked about it, so finally happy to grab that. Got The Wailing. This is a pretty solid, fucking good movie. If you guys haven't seen this movie, check it out. It's definitely one of the best films from last year. Really, really good. It's long, but, you know, that's what you expect from these kind of films. Highly recommend you check this one out. Everybody talked about this one last year. It's really good. From Wellgo USA. We have Into the Forest. This is from Lionsgate. This is a post-apocalyptic film. I thought it sounded interesting, so I've heard it's actually not that good, but I still thought it had a pretty cool concept, so grab that. The Demolisher, can't speak, this is a Dark Sky Films release. I know some people hate it and some people like it. I've heard some really horrible things and I've heard some pretty okay things about it, so I'm curious. These are all from Family Video. And Lucha Mexico. This is a wrestling documentary about Mexican wrestling that was released by Kino. And I've been eyeballing this one for a while at Family Video. Finally dropped down in price to $1.50 after a while. So I'm happy to grab this. You know me, I love my wrestling and my wrestling documentary. So extremely excited to check this one out. It seems really, really cool. And yeah, so that is Lucha Mexico. And recently I have started to get into this TV show. I don't know why I am just starting to get into it now, but I wanted to pick these up because I knew I wanted to watch the show, and I knew once the movie came out in 2 weeks, these are probably going to be harder to get as more people become interested in the show, and it seems like my prediction is right, as this one is now currently back ordered on Amazon for like 2 months, so That is the complete series of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, I've never watched this show. It was like one generation before my time. Of course, this show's still on today. But I didn't grow up watching this show. You know, I was more of a Nick kid. But I've been wanting to check this show out for a while. And I figured now's probably a good time to check it out with the movie coming out in 2 weeks. And I have a feeling we're going to see a Power Rangers resurgence coming up pretty soon. So I wanted to grab this before all the hype happened. And I've been watching this. I'm like 30 episodes in. And I've been enjoying it. The thing with the Power Rangers is you can only watch a few episodes at a time before it gets stale because it's extremely, extremely repetitive. Basically, it's just you follow the 5 Rangers, and then it turns into 6. Basically, a monster comes every episode, and they kill it, and they win, and that's about it. And there's not too much continuity. It's a 99% filler and 1% story-based, but I've been having fun with it. I'm not really a giant monster guy, but I've been enjoying watching this set, and it was $40, so it's one I've been wanting to pick up for a while, and like I said, I've been enjoying it. It's fun. This is a pretty nice set from Shout Factory, and probably people have shown this, but this is the new, I think it's from 2017 reissue. There's another set from this one that has more cases. What these seasons used to do back in the day was they had 2 volumes, and Shout Factory just released this set and they combined them, so it's a smaller set, but the contents are the same. So we got this booklet. It's a pretty nice booklet. It talks about the first 3 seasons, of course, and I'll get into it in a second, but this is like a mini series connecting the Mighty Morphin and the next season, but I'll get into that in a second. So these sets, pretty straightforward. Season 1. These are like 60 episode seasons, so like I said, it gets stale fast, but if you watch a few at a time, you'll have a good time with it. So pretty standard. The discs all look the same. So season 1, season 2, season 3, and then we have Mighty Morphin Alien Rangers, and this is the crossover between Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and the 4th season, which is CO. But yeah, so that's like 10 episode miniseries, and then we got a bonus discs here. These are 2 discs, and I think this is the only way to get these special features is if you buy the set like I am showing here, and this has just a whole bunch of bonus features about the show and things like that. So, it's one I've been wanting to watch for a while and give it a shot. And like I said, I've been enjoying it for what it is. And yeah, as time goes on, I'll probably grab the other ones. I have one more here, but I need the other 2, and the last 2, which are seasons 8 through 12 and 8 through 12 and 13 through 17. Those 2 sets seem to be a little bit harder to get than the other one I'm about to show you, but sooner or later, hopefully I'll get it just to keep with the continuity of getting these sets. So that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, complete series. Pretty cool. And then I just went ahead and grabbed, it was tax return season, seasons 4 through 7. And this has Power Ranger Zero, Turbo, In Space, and Lost Galaxy. And of course the other bonus feature disc. So, if I ever get the other 2 sets, I'll probably just grab the sets instead of the individual releases, because you could buy these individually, but, I just figured, what the hell, just buy the sets from now on. And this is pretty much the same. I drop it all. So we have the similar booklet with the information in there. Then we got Power Rangers Zero. And these are, once again, combined into single sets. It did the same thing with the volumes with this one, so they're just all into a set. Power Rangers Turbo, which is said to be one of the worst seasons of Power Rangers, one that almost killed the show. Power Rangers in Space, which I've heard is really good. And Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. And Power Rangers, a bonus features disc, similar to the Mighty Morphin set, but this one's only 1 disc. So that is the Power Rangers seasons 4 through 7 set. So basically, a lot of Power Rangers in this update. Like I said, I've been having a good time with these, and I figured as the movie comes out, these are probably going to be more and more difficult to get. So, and if I was going to grab those, might as well grab the 2 movies, and these were pretty cheap. These were $5 a piece. Of course, Power Rangers the movie and Power Rangers Turbo. So these were both, like I said, $5. Not very expensive. So I was happy to grab these as well. Watch them in order, might as well. So that is my DVD and Blu-ray update. Thank you everybody for watching. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And as always, you can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/NESRuler22. Hope everybody's doing well, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you guys.